Okay, Bodan, you ended up top 4, right? With
Yeah.
danger, so the highest placed danger FTK profile. Anything you want to say before we go to this?
Banned Firewall Dragon. That's pretty much it.
Okay, let's see this.
3. It's just gonna keep going. Yeah, so I played 24 dangers.
Right.
So it's 3 Chupacabra, 3 Snake. Actually, it's just every danger that exists in triplicate. Monsters at least. So I played 3 of them because every time you like resolve one of these and it discards a card that isn't the same one that you've like revealed, it gives you another card. And they all just have like insane effects. Like even the dud ones, like this going first, like you just reveal it, do something like brings out a monster. You make Curious or you make Sayuja. Like this one like helps you fix hands. Nessie's like insane. Jackalope's insane. The Snake just summons itself for free, and this one just like helps you when you like miss a couple dangers. But going second, I just really enjoyed playing a good amount of monsters because you just summon these so easily if you don't miss, and then you just present so much damage on board against a lot of the fair decks. Against like Striker especially, you can just put like 12,000 damage on board against like a single Sky Striker card, and if they don't set up with 3 spells in grave, you just like kill them. So that's why I played all 24. Then for the Darkworld, it was 3 Snow, 3 Brow, and then 1 Grapho. All the other Darkworlds kind of suck except for Beige. I think Beige is like actually okay because it generates another monster on the field and it doesn't use your normal summon, which is like pretty big. So maybe hindsight I put this in. I'm not too sure if I change anything else. So this usually gets cited out because it's like one of the worst, like not the worst ones because you always like generate another card that your danger can hit. But it's the worst one in terms of like it doesn't draw you a card or get you closer to like any of your power cards. It just like is a Darkworld that can search Brow, and Brow will draw you an extra card, which is really good. 7, and then my 1-ofs. Oh, sorry, my 3-of was Armageddon Knight. This card was insane the entire weekend. There's a lot of 1-ofs that it like works with, and it dumps all your combo pieces. And there's a lot of hands where this just acts like another combo piece with cards like Soul Charge and Firewall Dragon, which is really good. And then my 1-ofs were Zephyrs, Armageddon Knight dumping this, bounces a danger back, and then you get to cycle closer to another card, and it lets you make a card in my extra deck, which is really good. Also helps you make Sayuja and Curious, which is really nice. Cannon Soldier, which you just need for the FTK. I played 1 Shadol Beast to send with Curious and Armageddon Knight. It just draws you a card, and you can play more than one. It's like not awful because like generally drawing this isn't bad, but the fact that you can send it now with Armageddon Knight means like 1 is just like perfect. You don't want to like draw it too often because you have to ditch it and it's like relatively bad, but just the ability to send it with Curious or Armageddon Knight is just insane. And then I played 1 Grinder Golem. There's a really cool combo with this that I'll show later, but it just helps you summon a 1 card Curious or a 1 card Firewall, which is really good. So it was the monsters. I don't know how many I played, but my deck is 46 cards. I played 3 Allure of Darkness. They're all dark. I don't know. 1 card Destruction. This card's not as good as I thought it was. Like obviously drawing it is really good. The only benefit it has is like fixing your bad hands, and you don't have to gamble on like what you're doing with it. But otherwise it's very dangerous because some opponents will like present like a really weak opening, and you have to card Destruction, and they can just draw into like hand trap. So it's like not that ideal. But there were a bunch of games where I would summon like Azathoth, the secret card in my extra deck, and then card Destruction like BA and like cool stuff like that. And they weren't able to interact, and I was able to dig to combo pieces. So this was like you have to play it, like playing Darkworlds. Then Soul Charge, the God card, I ripped this like it's no one's business. I won a bunch of games where this was just set though, because you can just kill them, and this is like a backup plan if they hand trap you multiple times. So that's really good. I think maybe Reborn might also be applicable given how many times I would just like have this set, and the only thing I'm losing to is like Impermanence or maybe like Bell if I couldn't Azathoth. So you can just get rid of the Firewall, Reborn it, and then trigger it again. And then my last card, which was literally the MVP of the weekend and probably like the greatest card right now, pleased by the ultimate rares off me, beginning at the end. This card says draw 3 cards. If you make Curious, that's 3 Dark Monsters in graveyard. You will send Beast, and then you'll mill 3, and your deck is like pretty much just all dark. So this card's live like relatively quickly, especially with like Armageddon Knight, like a single danger that doesn't miss. So it's insane. We resolve like multiples of these in a lot of games, but like usually you just see Soul Charge and just kill them. But there's some games. There was a game I think in top 16 versus Josh, where my bottom 4 cards involved a Cannon Soldier, and then I ended up with 1 card in deck after resolving 2 of these. So it's crazy. And that was my main deck, 46 cards. My extra deck was 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix, 1 Unicorn, and 1 Mermaid. So like, these are just the standard. This helps play around Ogre, I guess. And then this like allows you to shuffle the Firewall back. So if they impermanence it or bell it, you can shuffle it back into your extra deck, turn this and another card into it, usually like when you Tomahawk, and then you can make the Firewall again to bounce back a combo piece, and then Cannon Soldier can just like fire off a bunch of dudes, which is really good. And this one also like just enables you to special with Firewall when you have like Phoenix plus like Wall next to it, you just turn it into Mermaid, just like the Goki combo, except we don't play Iblu. 1 Levia. So a lot of the opening hands where you have Cannon Soldier, you just want to like banish the Soldier with a lure, because it's not like really beneficial to you early on unless you have the other combo pieces, and then you can just prioritize getting to 2 level 3s to get it back. So like this card's just like almost invaluable. The only other alternative I thought was maybe playing Dweller, because there were a lot of games where I couldn't FTK, but I could end on Dweller and then like just make sure they can't play the following turn, which is really big. But this card was fine. I won a bunch of games just because I had this in my extra deck. The other cool cards that we played were Outer Entity Nyala and Azathoth. So 2 level 4s turns into this, which turns into this, and this card, I'm sure most of the people that watch Pepe like back in 2015-ish would know that like the Telemance would summon this and it would just like cold wave your opponent for monster effects. So the idea is the sooner that you can get 2 level 4s on the field and like have it not be terrible, you would just summon this, and then they can't Ash, Bell, Ogre, like any hand trap that isn't impermanence essentially. Droll is kind of iffy because they can usually just activate it very freely, but there's some hands where you can just play this straight away and it's like fine and it beats Droll. But yeah, this card's just really powerful, especially like the people who don't know it exists. They can like hold stuff that they shouldn't be holding, and you just summon this and they can't do anything. So this card was like MVP of the weekend. I summoned it so many times. Space Insulator, you need it because like it's a dark and it's like part of the Tomahawk combo. Like you just points down and then like turns into other stuff, and it lets you link with tokens as well. So this card's pretty big. Spider, Link Kariba. This is only for the Grinder Golem. This is for Grinder Golem and Tomahawk. These are the 2 most self-explanatory cards in my extra deck. This card's insane, and low-key probably should be banned because it sends any card from your deck to the graveyard and can add stuff back as well. So against Thunder Dragons, you can just like dump stuff and then like crack in and then add it back. So like it's not that good with Soul Charge, but there's some games where like this is like really relevant, like especially when they have like a slowish start, and then this one should be banned. Akashic is also for the Grinder Golem combo, and then Tomahawk is just like there because it's the nuts card with 2 level 7s. And then the last minute addition was Sayuja, which comes up a lot between Tomahawk and just summoning a bunch of dangers. So like this card was also really good. It also helps you enable like the FTK by special summoning, so it's pretty cool. My side deck was 3 cherries. This is for Goki to an extent, and the FTK. Goki usually won't Gumball you because you're playing a lot of Darkworlds and Dangers. So you can just do this on the Firewall, and then they can't like Gumball you for 4, which was like the big issue before. This is also for Goki, just really strong. This is also just for the mirror match too. There were a lot of mirror matches. This was specifically for the mirror match, but it had overlap against decks that would just bring Border and like Majesty's Fiend in against you. Like ideally this wouldn't be in my deck a lot of the time, but I figured against BA it was okay, and in top 16 he summoned Majesty's Fiend, and this like overlapped against Rhino and stuff, so that was kind of cool. Other than that, I think against Guys, I don't want to side this in because it's not like that good going second, and like having to set it just doesn't really achieve too much, but maybe I'm just wrong. Pankratops. So this card was the out that we had against Rivalry, where if you open it in your 6, you just special it. If they Rivalry you at any point when you try and activate a danger, which you can activate under Rivalry when you have a monster, by the way. They're crazy, right? Dangers can be activated when you're Drolled and when you're under Rivalry. Sick. But you just chain this and snipe the Rivalry and then continue playing. It's also a level 7, so it can turn into Tomahawk when it's like not super relevant. But this card's just all around like crazy good. And then Twin's really good. I'll show the combo with the Grinder Golem quickly. And then I'm sure everyone else knows the FTK stuff. Like you can watch my feature match, but the Grinder Golem one is like our favorite thing. So you will just have to open the Grinder Golem, and then let's say you've resolved like a danger at some point. So let's say you resolved like a dud one. So you'll Grinder Golem here. Let's say you just like resolve the danger. Sorry, here. You'll put your 2 tokens on board. So Aaron Chase Furman here. The 2 tokens will turn into a Link Kariba, and then a Link Spider. And oh god, like you guys know where I'm going with this one now. This will turn into a Kashi Magician, which will now bounce the Danger back and the Grinder Golem. And then if you want to summon Curious, you just give them the Grinder Golem again. This is cool because if you put it up here, you can kill it with Cerberus and it'll trigger the Firewall randomly, which could also just get bad cards out of your hand. So when you summon the 2 tokens to get to Curious, though, you just have this like this. You use Link Kariba's effect because they're level 1 Darks. You summon it back, and then this turns into 1 card Curious to dump whatever you want and enable your beginning of the end. So that's really cool. So this card was like insane over the whole weekend and probably shouldn't exist. I'm surprised it took people so long to realize how good it was. And yeah, that was my day.
Any last words?
Shout out to Team ARG, Ophidian, Gamer Inc. Max, do you want to say the rest of them?
Monster Protectors,
Argent Saga,
ARG trading card game.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, and then shout out to everyone that like worked on this deck. Dirk for coming second. We can't win with this deck apparently, but maybe Konami will start banning FTKs. And then everyone that we stayed with, all cool guys. London's sick. God bless.